Hi, I'm Alex from the Southern Ukulele Store, and today we're going to take a special look at KOALOHA ukuleles. We talk about this brand quite a lot, one of the true Hawaiian K brands, along with Pikake, who we looked at earlier this week, and kanile'a, who we'll be looking at in the near future. KOALOHA have been around since the mid-1990s. Alvin Okami, Pops Okami, began making ukuleles that were about this big for tourists using watchmaking tools, and transitioned over a long period of time into the ukuleles that we have today. The company is still run and operated by his sons with a small team, the kind of team that eat lunch together every day, and the factory tours for KOALOHA are legendary because you really get made to feel like part of the family. They build things in batches, so you tend to find that this kind of thing here, where you have the many faces of KOALOHA in one place at the same time, doesn't really happen very often. The last time we had all of these things in one place, excluding the red label, was actually 2017, and I've personally, I've lost all my hair since then, and a lot has changed in the world. So we're going to look today at the Royal Pikake Koa ukuleles. So these are satin finished Hawaiian Koa ukuleles, the standard Hawaiian gloss tenor ukulele, a Royal Pikake Mango satin mango ukulele, the Naupaka, which is a completely different beast all of its own, and then finally take a look at a special 2023 red label. Let's start with the satin models, the Royal Pikake Koa and the Royal Pikake Mango. So first up today we're going to compare the Royal Pikake series. These are the traditional style ukuleles that KOALOHA make. So 100 years ago we didn't really have a high gloss finish, a buffed gloss finish, that kind of thing. It was the early stages that was there, but really instruments had a kind of thinner layer over the wood, and that's what KOALOHA have tried to replicate with the Royal Pikake series. These satin finished ukuleles, I feel they give a deeper sound. They actually give the ukulele a little bit more breathing room. When they're covered in a high gloss, it can make things a bit more sparkly, brighter, but you can lose some of the richer, darker frequencies as a result. So the Royal Pikake Koa ukuleles have a Hawaiian Koa body on the top, back and sides, with a CNC shaped mahogany neck. KOALOHAs have a very unique shape to the bottom of their heel joint, with a kind of very shaped point to them. It's the most distinctive thing that you don't notice when you're just looking at them, but really feel as you play up the neck. You have an ebony fingerboard and bridge. It's a tie-on bridge going up to the 5-point crown with the gunmetal grey KOALOHA tuners. The nut width on KOALOHA tenors is a 37mm nut width with a slightly recessed 27mm string spacing. So the strings actually are kind of more close to the center of the fingerboard, with a little bit of an overlap either side for your hands to go over as you play. Very different to pretty much everything except for Rebel ukuleles, and just something that when you experience it, it's either going to be revolutionary for you, or you're going to instantly just know that it's not what you're after, which is something that's always great about KOALOHA, is people make very quick decisions about them. To look at a KOALOHA as well, you have this Musubi rice bowl sound hole, and at the time of filming, KOALOHAs come in a KOALOHA branded wood shell hard case. So that's the Royal Pikake Koa. The Mango is exactly the same spec, but with a Hawaiian Mango body. You have the front, back and side solid Hawaiian Mango with an ebony fingerboard and bridge, with the abalone inlays going up to the ebony faceplate. The gunmetal grey tuners on a mahogany neck, also CNC shaped with this contour at the bottom. You have the Musubi rice bowl sound hole and the 5-point crown at the top and bottom of the fingerboard. All KOALOHAs come strung with an unwound low G, so all the sound samples you're going to hear today are going to be the same strings, which is a variation on Worth clear strings, Pops Okami's own strings, clear fluorocarbon with a low G. Let's give the Royal Pikake Koa and Mango a play and see what you think. Next up today, we're going to take a look at the standard series. This is the ukulele that I say dreams are made of. This is a Hawaiian koa standard by KOALOHA, the KTM00. This has slightly different spec to the ukulele we looked at previously. This has a high gloss finish, so a very kind of thick gloss finish. It still resonates lovely. You feel a KOALOHA against your body, but the gloss finish gives it the snap, the boisterous sound and tone that people traditionally expect from KOALOHA. So when you hear of the traditional Royal Pikake ukuleles, they actually produce a more traditional uke sound, but KOALOHA made their name on this sound. Hawaiian koa for that top, back and sides with an ebony fingerboard and bridge. You have a gloss neck, which is a mahogany neck once again with a CNC shaping to it. You have the koa faceplate with the abalone inlay, and once again those gunmetal grey machine heads. A 37mm nut width with this 5-point crown at the top of the headstock, but on this series not at the bottom of the fingerboard. Let's give the KTM00 a play and see what you think. If we were to take the three ukuleles we looked at first today and just throw them in a mixing bowl, so we have the koa and the mango and the gloss all at the same time, we would have the Naupaka ukuleles. These ukuleles have a split top, mango and koa on the front, with koa and mango on the back, with koa and mango on the sides, with a glossed finish with a gloss mahogany neck, ebony fingerboard and bridge with those abalone dots, up to the 5-point crown on a, let me check, a koa faceplate. And once again, it's the unshaped straight finish to the fingerboard itself. Still got the Musubi rice bowl sound hole, but why does this exist? Well, sometimes you just want both desserts, you know? You want that chocolate fudge brownie, but you also quite fancy jelly and ice cream. The most pedestrian choices I could think of. But you know, when you put good things together, good things happen. This was probably the first time somebody did this on a production level, but it's something that has commonly happened with luthiery over the years, people trying different combinations to see what fits. The koa has the sparkle, so the brighter frequencies are just really bubbly and cute and sweet, but the mango has the depth. And when you put it together, what you get is something that has elements of both. It's cheating a bit, really. I always loved the sound of the Naupakas. Now, just being my honest opinion, I find the look of the Naupaka I can't tell you if I love it or whether it's not for me at all, but I do love the sound. The last KOALOHA comparison video I did with all of these instruments, the Naupaka for me was far and away the best. And I guess we need to see if that's the case this time. Let's give the Naupaka a play and see what you think. Forgive the location, honestly I can't get a moment of quiet in the shop today, and I really want to tell you this. I've talked about the Naupaka ukulele so many times, but I don't know if I've ever actually said on camera the story of the Naupaka ukulele and why it exists and why it has these two halves. It's a Hawaiian folk story. I'm going to do my best to tell it, but you know, it's worth just doing some further research if you like it. There was a princess called Naupaka, and her partner Kai. He was a commoner from the village, she was a princess, and much like a Shakespearean drama, the two were just not destined to be together. They escaped from the village, they went up to the mountains to speak to the elders, to speak to the gods, and they were looking for a sign that they should or shouldn't be together. And at that point a giant storm rained down, and it was clear to them that they were destined to be apart. So Naupaka tore the flower in her hair, and she gave half to Kai, and they parted ways for the rest of their lives. Naupaka remained in the mountains for the rest of her days, and Kai went back to the shore. And the Naupaka plant grows in those two areas with lots of gaps geographically between them, and it only half blooms. And the story goes that one day these flowers will join in the middle, and at that point they will fully bloom again. Hence the koa and the mango, the story of Naupaka. Last up today, we're going to take a look at the 2023 KOALOHA Red Label Custom Ukuleles. The red labels are KOALOHAs assembled and designed by the master luthiers at KOALOHA. They make small batches of them, usually around 20 pieces for the entire year, and the red labels use select woods. A little known fact, unless you've listened to various ukulele site podcasts over the years, you might not know that Paul Okami, the head luthier at KOALOHA, is an absolute wood nerd. He collects pieces of wood, pieces of tone woods that he just can't wait to use. And over the years they have made these special spec ukuleles just to give people a slice of the KOALOHA custom shop, but assembled as like a team build assembled instrument. So you have here a Port Orford cedar top, a long-time favourite wood of KOALOHA, with a curly walnut back and sides. You have Hawaiian koa front binding with a really lovely resin rosette on the sound hole, and the same resin is used to create this inlay between the 7th and the 12th fret. You have the 5-point KOALOHA headstock, as you'd expect, with the red label inlay, and you have Hipshot open gear tuners, the best tuners ever in my opinion. We use these on the Manuhu kanile'a ukuleles because of how good they are on the red labels. And what you don't see is this ukulele is braced completely differently to the other KOALOHAs we've looked at today. Production KOALOHAs have a very special unit bracing to it that's very KOALOHA designed and very quirky. This has a more traditional bracing, so there is a top brace, and there is more of a guitar influenced bracing pattern to this instrument, and as a result you get a very different sound. This ukulele has a bit more of a kind of throat to it. It's a bit more it's a bit husky, it's dark, it's delicious, but it's also very loud because of that Port Orford cedar on the top. We do not see nearly enough red label tenor ukuleles, so I'm really delighted to be able to have one to feature in the video today. Let's give the 2023 red label cedar and walnut ukulele a play and see what you think.